So hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is Ashish Madhukar. So our today episode, Salesforce integration with third party. So I have total 4+ year experience, close about the 5 year experience in Salesforce development. I'm expertise in LWC and integration. So this is about the Salesforce integration series 4 episode. So in this series, we will cover with third party. So today I cover choose the third party spectacular. So let me tell about something spectacular. So spectacular with Salesforce integration, we are going to do the integration where all the information is placed in the spectacular. Okay, so that we will get from spectacular to Salesforce basically. Okay, so we will put the pull the information from spectacular to Salesforce basically. Okay, so let's go first about the Salesforce Spectacular website. So this is the Spectacular website. Okay. So this is not any, about the promotional video or just I'm using for the uh, education purpose. So let's overview about this website. So the only food API you will ever need. So for example, you need any food API. Okay. You need recipe related. So if you want if like pasta recipe, so okay, so when you type the pasta, then your API will get on go on the spectacular and fetch that all the details related to pasta. If you want some yogurt type, so yogurt related all the recipe, all the titles, all the image, whatever store on the spectacular, so you can get in the Salesforce. Okay, so today maybe I will cover Aura component. So I will design a small UI. So here I am not using LWC. So because I not set up my uh, org in the ABS code, so that's why we will use Aura component. So who work already in the Aura component, he understand. Otherwise, you can also understand how we can design. So you can uh, pause the video when you practice, and you can write the same code. Okay, so here the documents. Okay, so in the documents you can know about all the, so everyone first keep in mind when you integrate with any third party for like Zomato, for Google API, YouTube or Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, any API, before doing the API or directly implement on the Salesforce, first read all the requirement, whatever mentioned in the documentation. First read all about the authentication process and what are the API and how you can get all the data. So for example, here he mentioned the search recipe. Okay, so this is the search recipe. Okay, but here mention also the content type should be the application or JSON. Okay, so what are the parameters here? So query, okay. So in the API, you need to be type the query. Query equal to should be the pasta. You can pass to like Italian something. You can also like the Greek, vegetarian diet something. You can do according to your okay requirement. What you want from the spectacular basically. Okay. So here I didn't find any authentication process. Okay, let me just search here. So this is the authentication. Okay, guide. If you see here, okay, just click on that. So here what the mention, to use the API you need on the API key. You can get a free one by simply sign up. Okay, so I have created already my account on that. So you can also create okay on the sign up here and create your account. Then after some time, you will get the email, your API is ready. So you can get your API. So here mention once you have your API, you have to put in the request URL basically. Okay. So this is the request URL basically, this one. Okay. So you can ignore this one. After API include the nutrition equal to true. So this is the finding the data according to that. But API. After that, this is the our API key recipe, this ID information API equal to this basically. Okay, so you can get your data here. Also, you can search the recipe by the nutrition. Okay, when you get by the nutrition, so you can get the data about this. If you search, recipe by ingredient, so you can type your ingredient, like the ingredient equal to like the apple for flour for sugar. So you can type according to that. So all the API here, or many API, you can explore yourself. You can do search one by one, everything. Okay. For example, here, okay, find by ingredient. So here in the specular image also available. Okay, when you open in the another, so you can able to see the image like this. Okay, so you can generate, you can create a UI also for viewing the API, given the titles and all the ingredients. What are the ingredients here? Like the is SL8 baking amount 1.0 image. This is I and what the name of baking powder. So all the ingredient missing here. Okay, spices. So you can search the data according to that. I will cover one part and after that you can use one by one all the API so you can understand. Okay, so this is the overview about the specular. Okay, so how you can get your API key. Okay, this is the main your API key. Without API key, so every API, okay, REST API have the different authentication process. So before doing, just check what are the authentication process in the system. This is the related to API key, yeah, refresh token, yeah, what we have covered in the previous video, to access token. So on the depend on the everything will change. Okay, so just so in API key we don't require to create a call extra API for authentication. Same API you can use in the REST API, passing your API key basically. So this is my profile here. Okay, basically you can, let me check. This is the my here you can type click on the my console and this is the dashboard. Okay, about what you have hit your API. So here all the here I have in search the API key 2 times, complex search 2 times, recipe 1 time. So how many times you have, which API endpoint you have hit, all the dashboard it will show here. Okay, so in the profile you can click just profile. So you can see here this is my email ID and password. You can change here. So this is the your API key. Okay, so now it's not showing. So if you want, you can generate new API key. If not showing the API key, you can generate. Otherwise, if already there, so just click on the show and hide. So when you click, so your API will be able to see. Okay. So now just keep this. Let's go in the Salesforce. Okay. Let me log in. So here today I will use custom metadata API. Okay. So this is the best practice for using the API and other things. Okay. So let me create first a custom metadata once. Okay. Just click on the custom metadata. You can create a new, give your custom metadata API name. You can like spin.
Why do we need custom metadata over here?
Okay, so here basically, for example, in future, if you change the API. Okay, so when API change, so what should we do? So you need to be change your code also. Okay, but when you are using the custom metadata API, so you didn't change uh, any line of code in your code. Okay, so just you can go in the custom metadata API and change your code here directly. Okay.
So
So
you mean to say, in case the API changed and
yes,
the integration is not processing because of that, so
right.
I can make the changes in the custom metadata. It's more
Yes,
like configurable more than writing a code, correct?
right. Correct. So when you you can't change na, every time your code and again it will be run. So this is not the best practice. Okay. Follow always the best practice when you're when you're using the custom metadata. So when you go in the custom metadata, just change the API, then your API will work. Okay. If in future, if when you want if use this API, for example, in gradient API. So you can change here, go on a custom metadata and paste your this API and use this test. So you need to be copy change your code, any line of code. Just use the custom metadata and change the API key, your endpoint also. Okay. So everyone start first video and second video. I have already told use the postman before using the directly writing the code. Just use the postman. Okay. So I have used. I'm using here. Okay. Custom. So you can use for testing the API. When you check here, I'm writing the already this. So you can use your basically postman for testing the API. When your API is working fine, so you can writing start the code. Okay, so what are the required here? So I need API, so you can create a custom field here basically. So let me create next. So just type the endpoint API. You can give the length here also. Just next. Save and new. And another one create what is that the API key. So type here API key. Okay, just next. Save. So I created custom metadata. Okay. So when you create the custom metadata, okay. So how you can fill your data in the custom metadata? So here on the top of click on the manage. Whatever you have given your custom metadata name, it will be show your name. Okay. So just click here and now it will be showing like this. Just click new. Give your name like the specular data. Okay. And type here the your API. So I want to use the API, for example, ingredient API, this one. You can use this one also. And if you want like you can passing any data like this product something related to, so you can use this one also. Okay. So let's use first this ingredient API, this one. Okay. Just copy this and paste here. Okay. And what's your API key? This is the your API key. Just copy this API key and go to API key and paste here. Just save. Okay.
I have doubts.
Yes.
Spoonacular is a Salesforce inbuilt feature.
No. This is third party. We are
Third party.
integrating using the code. We will integrate with Spinocular.
Okay.
So this is the example. Okay. It will be anything. You can integrate with Instagram. You can integrate with the Facebook. Any. This is the third party. Okay. And we want the data from third party to Salesforce. So how we can do this is the process. This
Okay. How
Okay.
do
I have a question. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. How did you get the manage a Spoonacular API that option after creating custom metadata data types, or do we need to add earlier?
No.
Hmm.
First, this is the site website. Okay, Spanopoly.
Okay.
Okay, this is the document. Okay, here are the full documents. When you click on the documents, you can get all the API in the left side. You can see search API, integrated API, nutrition API, information, bulk, recipe. Okay, everything you
Okay.
can get here name. And when you click here, na my console. First, you need to be sign up. Okay, when you
Okay.
sign up here, without sign up you can get documents. Okay, but
Okay.
when you want to use your API key, so when you click on the my console, then here click on the profile, then
Okay.
it will be show your email ID and password what you have given, and after this API key, when you click on the show API, then your API will be shown.
Okay.
So this is the API before
Hmm.
using for we required in the passing the header for this.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, custom metadata we are using for for example, I'm using for find the by ingredient, right? Now I want to use another API. For example, this API, recipe API, similar recipe API. So my API changed now. So that's why I want to copy. I will copy and go in the custom metadata. I will change here. It didn't change here. Okay. Let's now time to Rashi, you have any question, right? Yeah, please.
No, it's done. Thank you.
Okay, so let's create one Apex class here first. Type your class name as per your. You can give any naming convention, but basically I'm follow the whatever I'm using the third party API. So according to that name, I'm adding the control one. When you click your this one, okay, so create your method. So you can give a public also, public, static, void, and get recipe. So I'm using first method get recipe, and when you go here, okay, this is the API. So just now I'm using first in a I will do all the data I will fetch in the Apex plot. Then we will try one UI also. Okay. So just first we need to be get this data API. Okay, all the data in the system. So I'm going with simply. We have also the metadata method. Okay, we can use metadata method, but for everyone know about the SQL query, so I'm going with the SQL query only. Okay, just copy this name, paste here. This is our custom metadata API name. Okay, so you can give any name, something spoon, select here. Same like SQL query, just write the SQL query. Okay, like select ID, comma, name, comma, whatever the fields name, endpoint, just paste your endpoint name, comma, API, just paste your API key. Okay, so from your custom metadata object name, this. Okay, so when you click here, okay, it will be fetch the data. Okay, multiple data, it will when the multiple data, so it will be from the multiple data. It's showing something error, select ID error, follow no such name. Okay, name is not filled in the API name in the system. Okay, so you can check here. Okay, you can copy, paste, and here na edit query editor. Just paste in query editor and just execute. See here, your data is coming. It means everything is fine. Okay, So when you when you have created the multiple record here, okay, for example, this is the, when you click on that, this is showing one record, but when you on another record create here, so it's just mention here the your where clause, okay. So for example, where developer name equal to in single quotes. So this is your developer name, okay, and this is the label name. So copy developer name and paste here. Now you can check also again here, you can just copy this line, copy in your creator, paste and execute. So you can check also, okay, now it's fine. When you create here the multiple record, so according to your developer name, you can get that data only, okay. Now just time to write the code here, okay. So first we need to be write request method, okay. So what we write, http request, okay, you can give the name req equal to new http request. So my habit when I'm writing any code, so just my finger already type the control S, because when I'm writing, so my code already giving the save, okay. So I'm saving my code every time, okay. So here I have written, now time to type your endpoint, okay. So just type set endpoint here, okay. How you can do, this is the endpoint. So in the metadata, I have my endpoint API. Just type this name, this is my the endpoint API. Just type here, okay, paste. Other things, so this is the API key. What you can just type here and set your header. This is the header. So how you can know the what is the header it should be? So you can go here, you can check in the header. Authentication process here. Basically, when your API type, okay, so you can just add this your API key in the header basically. So I have checked in the Postman, so you can just okay type in the, you can write this code, but I'm using the another, so you can use like the X APIs. I see. Okay, so you can use like this also. So let me giving this my X API key, and what is my API key? Paste here, copy, and this is the my API key. Just save it. Okay. Now, what is the the method? So method, my method is get method. Okay. Just type method in get. Okay. Everything is set now. So now time to execute. Okay. So how we can do that? Just type http some st. I have my given the variable name. Click new and http. Okay. After that, we need to require HTTP response. Okay. In my previous video, I have explained about the what is the HTTP request and what is the HTTP response, everything. Okay. Just HTTP response variable, click here or response. Then this is my our site name, HTTP variable name. So just type st dot send. Send means you are now sending your request to third party. So this request pass here. Okay. When your request coming, get the response, okay, or getting any error, anything, everything will be come in the HTTP response variable. Okay. Before doing this, just check if condition what's your API is getting success or not. So just type and get the status. This is the status code. Okay. Status code should be 200. It means your API get success. Okay. So when your API gets success, so you can get the data in a string also that you can type directly system.debug. Okay. System.debug. Then type in data and response.body. So when you type the get body, so you will get your data. Now our API is everything now. Let's execute and check API is working or not. Are we getting any error, anything related to that? Okay. So how you can execute? You can go in the debug and open execute NMS window. Okay. So I have created anything. So just type here. This is the your class name. Okay. So you when your I have previous video I have also told about the when your method is static method. So you can directly call your method using the using class name. Okay. So just select. So in this my window many things. So when I selected anything, so I will execute, just execute highlighted. So what I'm highlighted, that one only execute. Okay. So what this is error? Remote site setting error. I have explained everyone in the previous video and starting video also. When you writing any API, when you integrate with any third party, so it's mandatory to whitelist that API base URL in the Salesforce. Without that, you can't hit any API. Okay. So what you should just when you copy all this API input also. Okay. So Salesforce automatically take only the base URL, means only .com till .com. Okay. So what you should just go type here type remote site. This is the remote site. Okay. Click on the new and type your this API and you can give anything. Okay. And make sure your remote site settings should be active. Click here. Then see Salesforce automatically take only the base URL .com only. Okay. Now when you again execute, then your request send. Okay. So just click on the debug only here. Check here, your data is not coming anything. Your API is success, but data is not. Okay. So what we should do? The API. This is the another API. Go to custom metadata. Spinocular. Click on the managed. Open this. So this is the your find ingredient API. Okay. So let's check your API in the Postman. So what are the require in the system? Basically, just click here, paste. Okay. I have given an API name here. Let's check. Click on that. It's coming the blank. No any data in the by ingredient. Okay. So by ingredient, what you should just type any Let's check. Type name like pasta. Was data coming in the, just paste JSON here. It's coming the data name, color blank, HR something. This was is not available. Okay.
Status is not found.
Yes. So this data is not found basically pasta. Okay. So what we should do here? Okay, just go on the website here. Let's check the ingredient API. Okay, so here what mention in the parameters. In the parameters, you should be type here. Parameters should be required here. Okay, just type this and go in the API, and this is the parameter name. Okay, just type parameter and like type I'm equal here. Now check this. What data is coming in here? Okay. So how it's happen? The data. So in the system now, I have checked. Okay, this is this kind of you can check your data, your API. Okay, everything data is coming. So what's your the API parameter? So you can go now Salesforce here. Your API. This is the endpoint API. Okay. Before endpoint API, what you should do? Just click here. String. You type your endpoint. Just got your API name here. Okay, so this is your API name. Just plus what's required in the postman. Just check here your ingredient name. Okay, so just copy this, go to Salesforce and paste. Okay, now this endpoint pass in the request. Okay, fine. Let's check now. Debug only. See, your data is coming now as per the. So I have already told everyone you can if your data is not in the data coming like this, so you can check your data properly in the proper JSON format. So you can open the log in raw format. Okay, and this is your data. Okay, go copy this data. Go to your system here and type here the JSON link. This is the website for showing your data proper way, basically JSON format. Okay, so just click on the validate. See here, you can read your data now. Okay, ID, amount, unit, cups, unit long, everything data is coming now here. Right? Okay. See your API image also showing here like this. You can open your when you open the API image is hot. So okay, sorry. Okay, so let this your image also. So yeah, okay. So what you can do what you want to show on the screen. So you can on original name, examples, okay, image. You can show these are data on UI also. Okay, you can type your name and the data, it will come according to that. Okay, dry force, everything. So as previous video, I have told everyone how you can write according to this JSON format. You should be write the wrapper class basically. Okay, for how you can do this data and everything. Okay, So today I'm telling you one website for create your wrapper class using this JSON. Okay, so just copy your JSON data, go to website, just type here JSON to Apex, enter. Okay, so this is the website JSON to Apex here. Okay, just paste your JSON data. You can give any your class name. For example, I'm giving my class name, adding here something. Wrapper and create the Apex class. See, your Apex class created now. Just extract all. See, this is test class. Okay, you can check your test class also right in here. Proper data. But what we will require now? Apex class. This is your Apex class. Okay, so all the data proper way is created in the system. This is like this. Okay, so how you can use your data now in the system basically. So this is the class name. So if you want, you can create your another class here. Okay, you can create or another Apex class here. Otherwise, you can use same Apex class within this class only. But mostly we are using when we are doing any wrapper class, so we are creating the new wrapper class and using the separate data because we don't want to hodgepodge basically. Okay, so let's use this Apex class data. Okay, just copy, and the previous video also tell about how you can deserialize the data from JSON to that in the object format. So this is the wrapper class. It will be deserialize your data in a basically object format. Okay, so your class is created. Just go here and now just copy your this. Go to your Apex class and paste it and just say fine everything. Now use this Apex class for your data format. So this is the method. This is the string type data. Okay. So this Apex class unit should be called in the system, basically main class. So this is here your data is coming. Okay. So what we do, just why I'm writing the list here because data is returning in the list format. So how we can check data in the list format? When you click the here, this is the big bracket. When showing the big bracket, it means your data coming in the list format basically. Okay. So you can give here the name is molecular list and just deserialize this. How you can deserialize? This is your list. Okay, and type here JSON dot deserialize. This is the deserialize. Okay. You can use this basically. So you can pass that this method in the system in the as a parameter like here. Otherwise you can create one variable here and store this data in the variable and pass here. Okay. So here your wrapper class name should be in this list format. Now you have set up everything. Okay. Let's check something. Hitting error. Unexpected token list. Okay, so where is the list? This is the list. Okay, here should be the dot class. Okay, make sure in the last whatever your class name, and this is, you can look. Now let's copy this the log and copy this variable name. Okay, just comment this first line. Now execute this class again here and execute. So here data is coming something error, expected specular wrapper dot meta but not found. Okay. So what we should do here in the data, this is the meta class and this is not taking in this specific. Okay. So let's call this method directly in the Apex class. Let me comment this and you can call your parse method directly in the system. So go to in your main class dot and pass your body. Okay. So let's see now. Still coming JSON exception expected specular wrapper dot meta but not at line number 1. Okay, but we have put it here the class name. This is the meta class also here. This is wrapper class our and this is the method and this is the API parsing. Okay, let's check our the data. What is the basic format here? This is the ID. In this system, meta is not found. Ingredient, this one, meta is another class. So what we have missed here something. Everything is fine now in this system, but it's showing something error expected specular wrapper dot meta. So what we can do here, wrapper dot type meta here Now let's check. Integration from list to list. Data is not coming list to list. Let's copy everything using this meta basically. And let's check what error we are getting in the system. Okay, let's execute and check again. Why our now is executed. Okay. So data is coming in the meta line because whatever we have data in the system, meta is coming the blind. Okay. So what we can do our one thing here. We can type like the missed ingredient. You can use this used ingredient here, under ingredient this one, or you can use directly this the used ingredient. So we can copy this method and use here now. Okay, this is our the class in the wrapper basically. Paste here and paste here. Okay, now check another ingredient here. Okay, execute and check data here. So data or whatever the data in the system. Okay, this is the your image coming here, meta is coming blank, something amount is coming null, and id is coming, image is coming here. Okay, so which type you can check your data and execute in the system basically. Okay, so anyone any question now? Anyone have any question? So ask here, any confusion? Anyone, everyone have understand how we can do and how we can create your wrapper class and we can use the data specific deserialized data in the system. Okay, so write these two classes. Okay, I'm sharing the chat. JSON link, this is for viewing your let me check your data for your whatever your JSON data is coming without format. So type your data, paste your data JSON here. So it will be then it will be check your data is proper in JSON format or not. If not format, so you will get the error. So you can validate here. Okay, JSON to Apex, this class, this site, whatever the JSON data is coming in the system. Okay, you can copy your JSON format data and paste in the JSON to Apex, and you can create a JSON data, JSON wrapper class basically for this ledger data in the object format. Okay, so that's all for today. So next class we will use same data. We will create one UI and show all the ingredient data and image also on the UI. So we will not here doing like this. So we will create one UI and you will type. Okay, you will type your ingredient name like this. Okay, just like whatever we are checking in this in the postman. For example, here typing apple. Okay, and when I typing the mango, so you will type in a Salesforce one input text. I will create one input text, and when you will type the mango, then it will be coming the data on the system. So these are the functionality will be in behind, and you will see data on the UI format. basically. Okay. So next class we will create one UI and we'll show the data in the to the user, basically client part. Okay. So that's all for today. And if anyone have any question, so please ask me. Let me stop my recording.